What is up to my baby face J? Gang. I'm sorry, y'all. I forgot what day it was yesterday. You know that? I forgot what day it was. It was Spooky Scary Saturdays. Spooky Scary Saturdays. And I failed. So today, I'm gonna make it up to y'all. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to put a double upload. And if you haven't yet, go check out my video from yesterday, because the freak is no views. I don't think that's available here. No views not available. Look at all these views over here. And look at this one. Whatever. Alright, I'm gonna check y'all back. So today, guys, what we got here is 5 true disturbing and terrifying hotel horror stories. I'm in the dark right now, so this is worth it for me, guys. And I'm sorry, it's gonna be a double upload today. Let's get it.
This happened
Oh my God.
of 2010. When I was just entering my teenage years, my family took a trip to a really nice hotel in the city. I can't really remember why we decided to take the trip, but I remember a lot of family friends coming with and staying in adjacent rooms. I've never asked my parents, but it's not important to the story. I'm a bit
I turned on the freaking light.
and always have been.
I'm sorry, but I had to turn on the light for this. I'm gonna use this bathroom. I was in the dark. I'm black. I'm not black. Y'all know it.
Oh yeah.
Don't act all different. Don't act all different. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
I'm a pretty skinny, fragile kid, so I get spooked pretty easily, even now. This, however, was almost definitely not me freaking myself out like I normally did. Looking back, I'm incredibly lucky I trusted my instincts. This hotel had a strange design to it. The lobby was actually on the fourth floor, not the bottom floor. To access the lobby, you had to use an elevator. There was no way for you to get to it from the stairs. This information would have been nice before everything happened, as you'll find out. The hotel was organized in a square shape. Every floor was lined with a balcony, and you could look down into the lobby and cafe area from your floor. Essentially, if you were just walking to your room, you could be seen from anyone that was on your floor if they'd just step out their rooms and look around. I always felt afraid that I'd fall over the balcony and sail down 8 stories to my death. But they were...
How would you even do that? Like how? How would you even fall down the stairs?
High enough to a point I wasn't too concerned for my safety. The first day or two was nice. My friends and I hung out and played cards all day, or we watched whatever was on TV. At night, we'd explore the halls.
This is boring. So, I had to switch it up a little bit. Anime story.
This was the scene captured on cell phone video Monday. 47-year-old Charles Kenzie, unarmed, laying on his back, hands raised in the air. The younger man sitting next to him is autistic and escaped from a nearby facility. Kenzie is his caretaker there.
Our mom disappeared. So they said was my mom disappeared and I ate strange meat.
I don't know what to do. It all started 3 weeks ago. My mom disappeared. She was at home in the morning, nothing different. She hugged me, saying goodbye, wished me luck with school, and gave me a packed lunch. And when I got home that evening, she wasn't there. She didn't come back. So we called the police and all of the search was set up. The whole town came together and held a giant search party, lasting through the night, but there was no sign of her at all. She had just completely vanished. The weeks since were hell for both me and my dad. Rumors started spreading through town and...
Tell me why I got this strange feeling that Dad did something horribly. Oh no, y'all tell me. No.
particularly around the school, that my mom had been murdered. Dad took things a lot worse than I did. He was a carpenter, so it wasn't unusual behavior for him to disappear into the garage for a long time, to work on a chair or table or something. Especially, it was what he always did when he was stressed. I figured that's just how he was dealing with the grief. We barely spoke over the next couple weeks. He was locked in there from sunrise to midnight. And we might bump into each other at one point, but he'd just say goodnight and went to bed. Sure, it was a bit weird, but I understood that he was going through a lot.
That dude looks so weird. Did you see the way he said goodbye? Like, look at this.
Other at one point, but he'd just say goodnight and went to bed.
You see that?
Sure, it was a bit weird, but I understood that he was going through a lot. But the longer he spent in there, the less I was sure he was doing woodwork. There were large bottles of bleach popping up in our bins, and Dad barely took any break. One night, I had waited for him to go to sleep, and I crept down to try to open the door, but it was locked tight, and Dad always had the key. But today, when I came home from school, he was in the kitchen, freshly shaved, showered, had a rested face. He was totally different from what he'd been for the last couple of weeks. He was cooking. My dad used to love grilling, and his steaks were always amazingly delicious. So it was a nice change, since I fed myself only pot noodles and soup for a few weeks. He set down two of the biggest, bloodiest steaks I had ever seen in my life. But
You don't get that out of here.
I fed myself only pot noodles and soup for a few weeks. He set down two of the biggest, bloodiest steaks I had ever seen in my life.
Yeah, you got bloody, right? What is that? It's not even cooked.
But it looked kind of different. Not bad,
It should.
but just different. Dad tucked into a steak straight away, and I did too. It was a bit tough to chew, but the seasoning and flavors tasted just as good as the rest of the steaks were. We had finished pretty soon, and I was feeling full and satisfied. Then Dad said something I can't stop thinking about. I doubt they'll ever find her body. His voice didn't sound sad or depressed.
That's eating his mom. They're eating his mom. I ain't never thought of it until now. Wow.
I didn't say anything, just stared at him. Hearing what he said sent shivers down my spine. Then I thought of the steaks. The late nights in the garage, hundreds of bleach bottles, and my dad's weird behavior. Did he feed me her body? Or am I just overthinking it? What do I do?
I saw something in an unbelievable creature.
When I was 16, my parents, brother, and I were living in an apartment on the 4th floor. Every night, we heard crazy laughing outside of our house. At first, we just thought it could have been a neighbor taking care of a sick person, so we didn't worry about it. Then one night, I heard laughing again. It was 11 p.m., and everyone in my house was sleeping. I got out of bed and looked out the window, and I saw nothing. And as soon as I looked out the window, the laughing stopped. It was kind of weird, but anyway, I just went back into bed and slept. After that, I had to use the bathroom at 4:30 a.m. The bathroom was downstairs in the hall, and the bathroom window was facing a big field of grass and a parking lot. After I finished using the bathroom and washed my hands, I heard that crazy loud laugh again for about a whole 30 seconds. It sounded like this person didn't even get tired. He seemed that he needed to catch his breath from this loud and long laughing. I proceeded to look out the window again, and then I saw a group of about 5 dogs going crazy around something. And when the dogs moved, I absolutely felt fear. There was something, another dog. I think it was a dog. It had a dog body and paws, but not a dog face. It had a human face, and it was staring at me. It looked at me for a minute and then started to slowly smile, then laughed again, and that was the same voice that I've heard constantly. I ran to my room, but I couldn't go back to sleep. The next morning, I told my parents and brother what had happened. They thought I had a nightmare. I said that I swear it wasn't a nightmare, but they didn't believe me. They just laughed and ignored it. Everything felt real. I know it was 100% real. But the next few days went by, and I didn't hear anything. And one day, it was getting quite dark outside. I did end up getting a cold from swimming, so my parents and brother went out grocery shopping without me. It was 9 p.m., and I took my dog for a walk for a little while. There was an abandoned house down the block, and my dog took off running to a bush suddenly. It was like something...
What y'all think he running for? I think the monster probably, hit something like a bone or meat and made it come to it.
It got his attention. I ran after my dog, and literally, I had to crawl under a fence to go and get him. When I finished crawling under the fence, I ended up cutting my knee. But thankfully, I got my dog, and when I looked up, there that thing was. That dog with a human face. We were face to face. It had glowing green eyes, and it had definitely human face features, and the head was bald. I screamed, and it just started that scary laughing again.
Want an apple?
I ran away with my dog and came back home.
Hurry.
Well, I'm 18 now, and my family and I moved away to another place. I don't know what the heck that thing was, and why I've seen it twice. But I'm just glad that I don't see it anymore.
Dog.
Daddy, you done? Oh, Daddy, it took you long. Huh?
So y'all, that's gonna be enough for this video, and I'm gonna catch y'all next split. Bang. We're gonna continue on this on a double upload. And peace.